news now.
First time I ever met Brainy, he had a virtual background on, or met him in person. Like we'd been friends on the internet,
Yeah.
but like met him in a Zoom call. He had a fire background. He had his mount or his camera under his computer, and his keyboard in front of his camera. So like you were looking up his nose, but his fingers were right in front of his keyboard.
Yeah,
it was dope. Mm-hmm. So how was your weekend?
It was really good. Was busy at the store on Saturday. We were trying to get everything ready to start the floor reset and to put the floors down. So I got it as far as I could, and then crew came in on Sunday and laid down about half the front end of the store. And then I came in afterward and kind of like put things on the fixtures and stuff. Kind of like, I don't know.
You dressed it out?
I like dressing stuff. I like to dress. So I've done it for years and years in clothing and all the other retail I've done. So I just have a good sense of what is right for the consumer mind to say, this place looks nice.
Right.
So I'm really happy about it because of the changes we made, we got rid of the dollar section, which I know is going to make everybody sad, but I don't think they're going to miss it as much as they think. Because then we put the whole back wall where that was, we fit a whole bunch of we used like IKEA shelving, the big squares, and put all of our hardcover books back there and faced out a bunch of stuff. And it looks like $1 million. It's a totally different look for the store. So,
oh yeah,
we still have a bunch of stuff to move, and we got the other half of the store to lay down the stuff. We can't move the toy section and start the kids section over here until we get construction done. And my construction guy just called and said that he can't do it until mid-April. And I said, I'm gonna have to find someone else, dude, because I'm opening that section April 1st. So can't wait till the middle of April.
That was the one advantage that I guess I had, or one of the advantages I had as a retailer, was that I could do that stuff myself.
This one might be difficult because Jenna volunteered her family to do it, but I think it might be more technical than she's thinking.
But like my dad and my grandfather both have worked as general contractors.
Oh, well then you guys can probably do it for sure.
Right. So when I say do it myself, it was like I didn't have to hire somebody. I could be like, Dad, can you come and I had to hire somebody, but I didn't have to hire somebody,
Oh yeah.
It was one of those things. The only time we ever had to hire out work really was plumbing, and we had to hire out someone who was a licensed electrician to do the electrical just for code reasons.
Oh yeah.
But my cousin's an electrician and I have a buddy who's a plumber. So it was like I could usually get the work done for pizza and beer. Or more likely, once those guys had kids, comic books. I would just trade them a bunch of stuff for their kids. In exchange, they would come in and do, the relatively simple electrical work I needed done. But
yeah, our city is pretty serious about making sure that only licensed people work on your space. So you can't have any work done without having them go to the city offices, which is like one block that way. My place used to be the city offices. You can go back in time and just do it here. But they have to go and register with the city. If they don't have a license with the city yet, they have to go and sign up with the city. So usually I have to use the same guys all the time because most people don't want to spend the money to go register with the city to work in the city.
Yeah, that was a thing when we first started, and I fought them. Because any city that values its tax revenue isn't going to make it hard to do business in the city. They want their money. So, relatively simple argument.
As I've gone, I think they're trying to seem like a grown-up city because they're kind of just a bedroom community.
Sure.
I love this city so much, so I'm totally down with following whatever rules they have to say.
Yeah, and it was one of those things. Is I'm like I fought them on the look. If I want to paint, or if I want to move some wall, I shouldn't have to hire a general contractor to do that.
Right.
if I need to run electrical or plumbing or something that is a
Trade. Yeah.
structural, could cause a fire or a flood that could cause a problem for more than just me,
Oh yeah.
I'm fine with bringing somebody in. They got angry at me one time because I changed. We had a door in our back room that was originally a fire door,
Yes.
but it didn't need to be a fire door because it was literally just the door to the bathroom.
Oh.
And I took it off and moved it to a place where I needed a fire door, and they got angry. I'm going, are you kidding me right now? Anyhow. So my weekend, this past week was restaurant week here in town.
Ooh, you ate food.
I ate so many places. Hey, look who's here.
Did we get a brainy?
You're just in time for food talk.
No sound.
Also, are you having a stressful time? You're looking a little gray, my friend.
That's all of us right now.
You're muted. Or you're muted.
This camera is way too close. Way too close.
It's perfect.
No, I'm gonna go get another laptop. I'll be back.
Oh. So I was just thinking to myself, hey, we don't have to look up Brady's nose, and now we're gonna have to look up Brady's nose.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to look up Brady's nose. No, I was gonna bring it up that I just I went to the barber and he was commenting on my temples on both sides are going white.
Mm-hmm.
I've skipped from ginger to white, no gray.
Nice. You am I gonna be? Do you know? Because it's gonna come through your mama's side. Do you have like a
Bald.
They just go white.
No, what comes through my mom's side is bald.
Bald. Excellent. Enjoy.
Yeah, what comes through my dad's side is prematurely gray.
Well, maybe you go bald before you get to have the gray parts.
Right, but it's my temples and my beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a problem. So no, so we went. I went to one restaurant that I'd never been to for the first time last Tuesday, and I was there 3 times in 1 week.
You liked it, huh?
Well, it's literally the people who own it bought it a month ago
Oh wow.
and decided that a month in they were going to give half of their profits for a whole week to charity, which seems dumb.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Well, they have relatively low overhead, which I realized going in there, but the way they made it, I think were able to make it work is people like me went there every day for lunch. So instead of making $5 off me this week, they made, $50 off me because I went there every day for lunch and ordered more food than I normally would.
See.
Community
building. I love it.
Yeah, that was the big thing, right? Like, it's community building. And oh, by the way, their menu is so much better now than it was before when the other people owned them.
Yeah.
So I will be going, like, I was explaining to a friend that I have it's one of my places now. Where I have, like, this morning I had to work on getting ready for your interview show, but I was between doctor's appointments, so I need a place to hang out. I'll go there and order food and sit and eat and work. So that's what they got, which was super fun out of the deal. All right, you're back.
I'm back.
Back. Well, that's not that much different.
No, but the other camera was a lot closer.
Oh, it was way dead. That's a new laptop, so
Yeah.
I didn't realize how close it would be.
Well, and it's higher definition.
It is, yes.
So you left, and I was going to talk to you about your grayness because I went to the barber, and he pointed out that my temples have gone white. Just skipped gray altogether. White. I went from ginger to white.
That's not a bad thing.
No, but at 34 years old, seems a little early.
Actually, believe it or not, I know some like early 20-year-old kids basically that are starting to go gray. And it's just,
Right. I started going bald at 14, but, going gray I wasn't prepared for. Going white, I'm definitely not prepared for.
Well, I mean, we all know you went bald because you were just pulling your hair out from not being able to solve any of the math problems.
Do you want to know the real reason I went bald? Like why it started so early?
Well, are we live right now?
Yeah.
Do
We're
you want to
recording.
discuss it on?
Sure, I don't care.
That's okay. Sure, why not?
I was doing the play Guys and Dolls, and I was playing a Sicilian. How many like bleach blonde Sicilians do you know? Like none. So I had to dye my hair black, but my hair was so light when I got stage black, it turned my hair blue. Like the color of Jen's wall blue. So I had to dye my hair 4 times
Ouch.
to get it black. And it just killed it.
You know, at a certain point, you start using a wig.
I recognize that, but at some point I had to get my hair to a color that wouldn't make my teachers laugh. You know, like it had to look somewhat natural so I didn't get in trouble at sports. Oh, it was bad, man. But we yeah, that's why I went bald early. But no, I'm gonna go out and buy some Just for Men ginger colored just for my temples.
Ooh, ginger.
But anyhow, back to what we were talking about. We were talking about weekends. We'll come around to yours. So I went to a bunch of restaurants last week. That was what I did on my weekend. Saturday we went to a place called Basil, which is a pizza and wine bar. And I didn't have any wine because I don't drink, but I had Wagyu meatballs.
Ragu or what?
Wagyu
Okay.
meatballs.
For those of us that don't know what Wagyu meatballs are, please entertain us.
Wagyu is fancy, expensive beef. So there's chuck, there's like regular grade A, like you buy at a grocery store, and then Wagyu is above that, and then Kobe beef is the stuff you can only get in Japan and is like $100 an ounce.
Well, I'm well aware of Kobe beef. Had plenty of that before, but I
Right.
was not aware of Wagyu meat.
Wagyu is like the step between USDA Prime
And
and Kobe. But it's super tender, super tasty, super flavorful. And the thing about this Basil place was it was great. The food was really good, but it's like you order a pizza and it's like 4 inches across. It's all like real small plates because you're supposed to get drunk on the wine. Is what I've realized. So afterwards, we went to Costco and I had to have a couple of Costco hot dogs. Like I went
gourmet
from,
meals there, right?
right. I went from, you know, a 4-course $100 meal to I need to eat some more. We're going to Costco for $1 hot dogs.
Right.
You know, but no, that was how I spent my weekend. I mean, I worked because stupid JD's on a stupid boat.
Wait, what's he doing on a boat, and why were we not invited?
He's on the Jonathan Colton cruise, which if I didn't think I would die on the cruise, I would have tried to convince the Experience to send me on, as it's Comic-Con on a boat.
Yep.
There are panels, there's a vendor floor, there's all kinds of stuff on the boat.
And-
He's there with Gail Simone and a bunch of other writers.
And why were we not invited?
I didn't even know about it. How is this possible?
Because cruises, much like the country of Australia, were designed to kill you.
Oh my.
You could fall off the boat. The boat could sink. The toilets on the boat could stop working.
That's true.
You go to these islands where they have animals and bugs that you're not accustomed to that could kill you. The sun, the alcohol poisoning. You could run afoul of the people in the casino on the boat and they could kill you. There's a lot of ways to die on a cruise.
I mean, I don't understand the restroom issue. I mean, don't you just lean over the edge and do you?
You'd think, but there was a cruise a few years ago that was all over the news because people were stuck on it and the toilets didn't work.
That
called it the
sounds
poop
like
cruise.
No fun at all.
Right. And people go, Kyle, when was the last time a cruise boat sank? I go, I saw Titanic. The Lusitania happened, and And they're like, okay, when in this millennium? I go, that boat that got stuck in that canal.
It didn't sink.
They go, it didn't sink. I go, close
That
enough.
Sideways in like, what was it, Italy?
Yeah, there was a Greek boat that like fell over on its side.
Yeah.
People died in that. That was not funny.
No, but
They used that
JD
photo in like the everything will go wrong day, and I'm like, I mean, it's not funny.
no. JD has been asking me to go on this cruise since before that happened, and I've been citing the Lusitania every time. So, yay, World War I knowledge.
I do love
right.
cruises though.
Just gonna know why they are calling the pizzeria at 9:23 looking for pizza.
Because they're stoned.
So I think because they've
Oh,
gotten used to
that's what's
Pizza Hut
bringing
and
it. Your
Domino's,
phone.
that-
It's like,
I think
why are you
Justin's
calling
right.
for Pizza?
They high. So, Brainy, how was your weekend?
So you know, as Miss Jen and you, Kyle, could attest to this. If there's nobody else working,
Bye.
it's
Yup.
your job to open the store.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday, was my job to open the store.
Are you still in practice?
Practice for
Did
mean,
you
you
remember
still-
how to do it?
Yeah. I mean,
oh
was it,
yeah,
like,
of
no
course,
big?
of course. Interestingly enough, I woke up early Saturday morning, and I'm like, oh, this is way too early. I'm going back to sleep. And yeah, I was energized. I was ready to do everything when I woke up first time. Went back to sleep. Woke up. I'm like, I don't want to do today. I just don't want to do today.
I felt like there were two ways that story was going to go. One was that you went back to sleep and you woke up and you're like, nah, I'm over this. Or the other one was that you slept so long you opened late.
No, that's something.
I've had both happen.
Yeah, the management of that store the guy's a prick. You can't open a minute late and you cannot close a minute early. So I try to make sure I get there on time.
Wait a minute. Who's in control of this time schedule? I gotta know all
Yeah.
about this.
Some prick. Yeah. He's been running this
Some
place
dude
for
named
like
Brainy?
Yeah. Yeah.
possibly. I grew up with the sentiment: if you're going to be on time, you be 15 minutes early.
I agree.
5 minutes early, you're already late. And if if you're getting paid to be there till 10 p.m., 9:59 is not an acceptable hour to close down your shop. Granted, there are emergencies, there are issues, but if somebody walks in at the last minute, you've got to treat them just as well as you would anybody that walks in the first shift.
I agree with that sentiment. But again, I've had times where you set your alarm for PM instead of AM. You
Yeah,
know,
I've been there, done that.
one time I was late for this. I was late opening by 20 minutes, half hour, because I got stuck behind a funeral procession less than a mile from the store.
Oh,
That's
And
that's
I
worth
didn't-
the effort for that.
I didn't know at the time, but it was a firefighter's funeral procession, so it was super long.
Yep.
And like, I would have turned around and gone the other way had I known. But I didn't, and now I'm sitting there, and then I get blocked in, and now I'm stuck. And it's like, what do you do? So you get on social media and be like, "Hey, we're gonna open a little bit late. I'm at the funeral procession for this thing. Think of the family, and we'll see you when we see you." And I had customers still like, "Why are you late?" I'm like, "Why are you a jerk?"
How did they get there if you couldn't get there? That's what.
Because there were other ways to get to my store, but I got boxed in. So yeah, it was bad news bears, man. So, but what else, Brainy? I mean, other than having to like work the man.
That also pushed back everything else I had to do on Saturday. So it kind of And yeah, I lazied out on Sunday. I watched Reacher. If you guys haven't done that, I'd recommend it. It's a good show.
I'll go through it.
Um, I also caught up on Marvelous Miss Maisel. If you guys aren't watching that, just shut out. I hear it. Go home. Start watching that. Um, that that I still think that's one of the top 4 television shows out there right now that are still continuing. It's Ted Lasso, Emily in Paris, and Marvelous Miss Maisel. If you don't watch anything else, you watch those 3.
I had a moment on Saturday night where I was waiting for you for the mix. And I go, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch Emily in Paris.
Oh, nice! Did you?
And then I thought, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna cave in.
Then
Why
you would have
would
missed
you
the mix.
resist something that's so good for you?
Just for
Doesn't
the
make
joke.
sense.
Just for the joke.
Only for the joke.
Yeah.
Did you actually go do it instead?
No, I started watching. I got BritBox for my birthday.
Ooh.
I started watching Father Brown.
My dad
Which-
loves that show.
Yeah, it's a like a cop show or Sherlock Holmes kind of show where the Sherlock Holmes character is a priest. Like he's a
Okay.
consulting detective, but he's a priest. And then there's a follow-up show where it's a nun. That like is the secret weapon the police use to catch crime. So started watching those because nuns terrify me. So
Because of your childhood.
because of the outfits. I saw what they call her, the Penguin in the Blues Brothers, and was permanently scarred. So yeah. So some news has happened.
Excellent. I like the news.
Do we want to start with the happy news or the mid-range news or the exciting news?
I don't know. All mine are mediocre news. So
Okay, we'll start with the happy news.
No, wait. Let's get the mid-range out of the way. That way.
Okay. Marvel announced some details for Amazing Spider-Man 900. That it'll be Zeb Wells and Ed McGuinness.
nice. I like that.
I do as well. But it's mid-range news because it should be to 1,000 by now.
Why should it be 2,000 by now?
They just should be.
Because you
I
say
forget how the math worked, but there was a period where they're not counting some stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, they're not counting like the just plain Spider-Man stories.
Well, yes, because that was a completely different
But at
title.
the time they weren't publishing ASM the same way. It was there's stuff they're not counting, and it just bothers me and only me. Like I recognize that I'm wrong. Still bothers me.
Okay.
No, Marvel would give you their logic and you'd be like, yeah, that's correct. And I would say the same, but it still bothers me. Mike Mignola is selling original art to help Ukrainian refugees.
Man.
100% of the proceeds are going to World Central Kitchen's effort to feed Ukrainian refugees. The first item Mignola is auctioning off is a black and white drawing featuring Batman and the Joker. As of Monday afternoon, the highest bid on eBay was over 10 grand.
perfect.
And I'll be honest, it is not one of my favorite Mignola pieces. Like, I know this piece of art. Not one of my favorites. But that's a lot of money. And so that's freaking phenomenal.
I wish I had money to put down right now. I'd be
I wish I had Mike Mignola original art money.
right.
Mhm.
And yeah, it seems people are catching on to the original artwork nowadays too. They're starting to realize original art is hard to get because it's one of a kind, and a lot of the collectors have been hoarding onto their collections.
they have.
And it's getting harder and harder for us low-level collectors to get original art nowadays.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite people is now in the Arrowverse. Donald Faison is going to be Booster Gold in the Arrowverse.
Nice.
Turk
Really?
from Scrubs,
Yeah.
or Petey from They Might Be Remember the Titans.
Or that guy from that game show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from that game show.
Yeah.
The Arrowverse is still going on.
Legends of Tomorrow.
That's the only show going on right now, right? Everything else is.
Isn't the Flash still a thing?
I thought the Flash was over.
They're calling, this article is calling everything on the CW the Arrowverse.
Yeah, I believe that's how it went about. Everything on the CW was Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I thought everything was done with. But hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Who knows? In the good news that I brought, the Muppets have a new series coming out from Adam Goldberg, who created the Goldbergs, starring the Electric Mayhem. So that's right. It's a Dr. Teeth and animal driven show coming straight to Disney Plus. Disney Plus announces The Muppets Mayhem, a new comedy series inspired by the fictional band of musical puppets known as the Electric Mayhem. Helmed by Adam Goldberg, the creator of the sitcoms Goldberg, the show will chronicle the adventures of the musicians as they record their first album. Running for 10 episodes, the show will also star Lily Singh as Nora, a junior A&R exec who is tasked with keeping the Electric Mayhem together and managing them through their shenanigans.
Pop quiz. What are the band members' names? Go.
Dr. Teeth, Animal, Floyd, Pepper, Janice, Zoot, and Lips.
Did you just look at the list, or
No, I may or may not have a plan for a Dr. Teeth tattoo.
Nice.
Dr. Teeth is my favorite Muppet.
Makes sense.
I have Electric Mayhem t-shirts. I have it's maybe an unhealthy obsession.
Kyle, is there anything you do that's not an unhealthy obsession?
I'll get back to you.
I won't hold my breath.
No, it's the reason when I was a little kid, I wanted to learn to play the drums was because of Animal. The reason I learned to play the piano was Dr. Teeth and Rolf.
Nice.
It's just, this has been around forever for me.
That is one thing I do regret, man. Not having learned an instrument early in my life.
Yeah. So then my big piece of news, my most happy piece of news, is the trailer has dropped for Rosario Dawson's DMZ.
Yeah.
The series based on the DC Comics Brian Wood. Who was the artist on that? Just remember Brian Wood wrote it.
Weren't there various artists on that series?
Maybe. I don't fully remember.
It's not Azarello.
No, that doesn't sound right.
But I remember the covers were not too revealing. They were always
White.
They're like cityscapes.
Yeah,
they're negative space cityscapes.
Correct. You couldn't tell what the story was about from the covers.
I sent the trailer to the group. Did you watch it?
I like I said, I just showed up 2 minutes. I walked through the door, turned on my laptop, and joined you guys. So I haven't done very much.
Hold, please. Let's see if we can do this.
No matter how much preparation you do before going to a dealership, it'll always take 3-4 hours, no matter what.
Are you buying a vehicle?
I am not. I took my cousin there to pick up his vehicle, which he had already purchased, and of course, it still took.
Are you sure you don't want an undercoating? Are you sure you don't want the add-on insurance? Are you sure?
I think we spend more time inspecting the vehicle than we did
Oh,
anything else. Of course, yeah.
All right, let me see if I can.
What it looks like now.
If I can share this trailer with the group.
oh, I like it. Purple.
Mm-hmm.
Which streaming service is going to be on? HBO?
Yes, HBO Max, March 17th.
Which means it has a chance of lasting and adding seasons, and like other great shows that should have lasted longer.
Yep.
I've got. You guys know that? Did you guys see the Predator news today?
No.
So they finally announced the next movie's like setting and time period, and they're going way back. It's going to be Great Plains, 1719.
There's a trend towards that era, isn't there? Because we got 1883, in the plains with the Taylor Sheridan show. But there's a trend towards the plains and the prairie pre-Civil War or just post-Civil War.
I like it because right now, because of the way things are shot in movies, is that you always feel pretty safe because the technology, affords people a certain level of ability to handle taking care of themselves, right? Everyone has access to weaponry. So you've got to take it to a point where the audience stops feeling safe because no one's scared of the Predator anymore, right? So you have to somehow make it feel like you should be scared. So take it to a place where you don't have anything but arrows. Sounds great. Or a hatchet.
Can't argue with that. Are we still waiting, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Give me just a second.
Okay.
It's download. Give a minute.
Wait, why are you downloading?
Because I can't share it with audio into this window.
You want me to do it?
No, I want to download it, man. I want to have this trailer like on my computer, and I'm relatively sure the Dan Wickline is going to do a breakdown of DMZ, and I'm going to need it.
Have you read the series, the DMZ series?
Oh, absolutely. I remember reading it. I didn't read it new when it came out originally. I read it in the big, thick, heavy, like almost omnibus trades.
The compodiums?
Yeah, the big ones. In fact, I think at one point after I had read them, I was selling my copies on a CBSN show, and I think Jen bought them.
Nice. Yeah, I know I have my copy somewhere. I just haven't read it yet.
It's so good. I mean, and it's everything I like in a.
Berchielli.
There you go.
The big fat ones.
Yeah, it's everything I like in a series. Let me try this. Hold on. Control V. There we go. Okay. Share screen. Why is it fighting me?
Well, you didn't take it out to a date first. All right, while you're messing with that, my last action item is Walking Dead announced a spin-off series starring Maggie and Negan, which is
Yep.
like the worst matchup ever, given the history. But it looks like they're teaming up for some reasons.
All right, let's see if you guys can hear this if I play it. Why is it now? See, it's not even playing.
Mm-mm.
Remove.
That's what happens.
My only pursuit here.
Yeah, this is Firefox is not good at this. Give me another 4 minutes. Let's talk about other things.
I was.
I know.
Oh, Flick.
See, you were able to share it with sound.
You were able to share it with sound.
You could have just said you did it.
No, my whole computer is set up to run everything through Chrome, and we do this in Firefox. So in the nerdiness of things, I just don't have the sound around at the right places.
But you should have been able to share one of the tabs from Firefox. Or
Yeah, it
from
wouldn't let
Chrome.
me.
That was odd.
I understand. Like when I was able to share the tab from Firefox, it just wasn't playing. Like it was playing on my screen, but not on yours. I think it's got something to do with the way I have my general settings set up.
Possibly, yes.
So anyhow, that looks fantastic. Brian Wood's a genius, and that series was great.
Oh yeah.
What else is happening? Anything else of note?
Batman is killing it in the box office.
Well, you saw the little teaser trailer, right?
No.
What? I showed you the teaser trailer earlier.
I'm legitimately not consuming anything that has to do with Batman.
Oh, you had to have watched that.
Not even if it's not that Batman. Like nothing this week Batman related.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alexa keeps wanting me to play Batman trivia, and I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, a lot of people are unfortunately spoiling a lot of Batman this week, which is a little bit disappointing. But, yeah.
That's dumb. Why would you do that?
I don't think it's intentional. I think they're at least I hope they're not intentionally spoiling it. I think the excitement just lets them leak stuff they shouldn't be leaking.
Right. So on a show I was doing tonight, I was producing tonight, it came up and somebody pointed it out, and I think it's worth noting. A lot of people are saying this is the best Batman ever. People before were saying that this was the best Spider-Man ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing was the best that thing ever. And do you guys think that we're seeing a trend towards either people think that the newest is the best ever or the worst ever? Or do you think that the bar has just been raised that high that they keep having to clear it every time?
Both.
Everyone feels like they need to at least rank things and for how much they like them. Like, I don't care who's liking it.
Let's look at the special effects from back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
When they first came out, we were all like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. How are they going to improve this? You watch that now, you're like, oh, crud, that was crud. I can't believe I watched that when I was younger. As technology improves, so do people's perceptions. If they redid the first Transformers now with that kind of CGI and animation, we would knock it down. We would be like, hey, this sucks. This can't compare. So our expectations are much, much higher than they used to be. With that said, the stories are getting better. the storytellers are doing a good job of putting things together. And I hate, I know this isn't 100%, but I believe the deep pockets of corporate, movie theater, not theaters, movie studios are starting to take a step back and say, hey, these talent know what they're doing. Let's let them do what they want to. And yeah, that's resulting in some really good stuff coming out nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that for this movie to outpace The Dark Knight as the best Batman movie ever is a really high bar for me.
There are still people out there that think that Michael Keaton's first Batman was still the best
And-
Batman.
That's number 2 for me. So, but to clear that, Heath Ledger, Christian Bale bar is such a high mark that I don't, and this is something I'm preparing my brain for as I go into this movie on Saturday. I don't know that it can live up. Like, I just don't know that it's possible. And so how do I rate this movie and rank this movie from a purely intellectual standpoint? And separate it from the emotional, kind of thing that went with when that movie came out, that when The Dark Knight came out, I was involved in the viral marketing and we were going to Batman meetups and we were, doing all that stuff. And then Heath Ledger passes away and it turns into this whole other thing. And we don't have any of that with this movie in the same sense. So if I'm going to feel let down because it isn't that, how do I give this movie a fair shake?
And it might be that the story arc, the acting, the directing and all of that might actually take it over, at least in your perception, and say, oh my God, yes, this actually does deserve to be the number 1 movie.
And I would be down with that, like 100%. But I'm just saying that it's such a high bar that it's going to be tough.
Let's see.
I like all of them, so I try not to pick favorites with them.
I don't think anyone likes bat nipples.
No.
I mean, the movies themselves were fine, but the costumes were bad. Like, leave a little something to the imagination.
It is fun to man, I'm just going to say, but it is fun to poke on that costume. But
Michael Schumacher. But no, like, it's one of those things. Is like I want to give it a fair shake, which is not something I've always done for movies. When I've come out.
No, you're always fair.
I'll give you a for instance. And here's what I mean. I rated Lego Batman a lot higher than I rated Lego Ninjago. Because it was Batman.
Hey, Lego Batman was better than Lego Ninjago.
Right, but like I didn't give Ninjago a fair shake because it wasn't Batman. And that movie's all right. Like, but it wasn't Batman, so I didn't give it a full credit.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's what I mean is like, that's a pretty dumb example, but it's true. I'm trying to be better at giving a movie a fair shake, and either liking it or not liking it based on what it is, not based on my own emotional attachments to them. So if I come back and I say I don't like this Batman movie, I will have a list of logic reasons why.
Well, I'm proud of you because I have in the past, as your friend, said he's not going to like this movie because he's decided to not like this movie.
Right. And, it helps when I've not seen a trailer.
Yeah.
I've not seen a second of press. I know that Robert Pattinson is in it. and Zoe Kravitz is in it, right? Is she
Yes.
Catwoman? Okay.
Really?
And I low key am in love with her, so like that will help.
Yeah. I'm curious why only Loki, man. You should be absolutely in
Because
love with her.
I'm terrified of her dad and her stepdad and her mother. Like, her dad is one of my idols. Her stepdad could kill me without trying, and her mother is literally one of the greatest actresses to ever live. So, hey, what's up? No. So let's talk about new comics.
Woohoo! I don't know if I have a list. Do I have a list? I have a list. Yes.
It's Weird Week.
It's Weird Week.
Yeah, we say that all the time, but
It's a
This-
big week, right? No, that was last week. Last week it was big.
yeah, it feels a little small.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that I would call of worthy note this week, like Apache Delivery Service 3, Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer 4, which I think is the end of that series. Let me double check. Yeah, this is it.
There's a lot of good stuff. Wow.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a small week, but it's a bunch of heavy hitters, man.
Mhm.
Devil's Reign Moon Knight. There's one I'm particularly excited for from IDW. Killlock, the Artisan Wraith.
There you go. I can't wait for Captain Carter. That's what I want to read this week.
Yeah. Punisher #1 with the new costume.
Mhm. We got a Spider Gwen. We haven't had Spider Gwen in a while.
From Aftershock, we have We Live, Age of the Palladians #1, white and black. They are different books.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Don't mess that up. In the cards, they had slated some cards to be released at the same time for collectability, but those are going to be delayed.
Running late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit Me #1. From
Yeah,
Aftershock.
I saw that.
AWA.
Han Solo and Chewbacca #1.
Joe Hill's Reign #2.
We had Christopher Williams from Soltaic #1 coming out from Scout.
Interviewed him today. Delightful person.
Did you mention Killlock already?
I did.
Mhm.
Looks very interesting. The last part of Life is Strange, Settling Dust comes out, #4 or 4.
Ed Piskor returns with more messing your mind up in Red Room Trigger Warnings #1.
Ooh, Little Monsters #1 from Image. It's a Jeff Lemire book coming out.
Sometimes I just wonder how in the world I order the way I order.
Oh, I
Or
wonder
if
that
there's a
every
bug in
single-
the
A lot of
system.
times you're talking to us while you're doing it.
No, it's like for this one, I have Radiant Red #1 on here, but it's the B cover, which came out last week. I don't know if the B cover came out last week, but
No, it came out this week. It's on this week's list.
Yeah.
I got Radiant Red last week.
How'd you get Radiant Red?
Yeah,
last
that must have been a mistake.
Interesting. And then I've got Loaded Bible Blood of My Blood #1 A covers on this week as a new item. And I got that last week too.
Maybe you're in some sort of weird time continuum.
And, oh no, this is a restock one. Killer Affairs Estate.
Mhm.
It's like, why in the world?
In the trade paperback hardcover market, there are 2 different volumes of Michael Moorcock's Elric, The Dreaming City. One is the original, and one is the Mignola. Same book, different art.
I have no idea how many JLA Avengers I'm going to get.
Oh,
Probably
It
one.
literally says minus 16, 16, minus 17. So am I getting minus one copy?
You can always look it up on Diamond site to see how many you're getting.
Probably one.
Oh, I see what's going on. They have a split invoice like last week. There's 2 invoices. This makes more sense to me. I'm like, I would never order like that.
From I don't even know who the publisher is now on it. But Squire is a graphic novel hardcover, young adult fantasy. It's kind of bridging that gap between traditional graphic novel and manga. It's a good book that I've been hearing about for a while in the book market communities.
Aw, snap! Toilet Bound Hanako-kun 00 comes out. It's nothing like a book that's about being on a toilet.
Bad things happen in the bathroom. I'm just glad that it happens in a vacuum.
If you guys haven't seen the cover to I Am Batman #7, the Matina cover,
Gorgeous.
that is a beautiful cover.
Lucky Devil, trade paperback from Dark Horse, which is a Cullen Bunn 4-issue series that came out last year that I think a lot of people missed.
Naomi season 2 #1.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Hey,
Also-
I got return credits. Yay!
I know, right? Also, a beautiful cover, Superman Son of Kal-El #9, the Medeiros International cover. I think it's a really nice cover.
Heads up, there's some second printings that people might want to grab up. Moon Knight #7 has a second print that's coming out this week. There's a one for Cowboy Bebop, one for Black Panther #3. Devil's Reign 3. A lot of people are collecting second prints because they kind of seem to be like historically that's where the money ends up. She-Hulk #1 has a second printing. Bartel. Silver Surfer Rebirth #1 has a second printing. Ron Lim cover.
Generally, second prints and #2s are usually a lot lower print runs than the regular #1s.
Yeah, I think that's the reason that that happened. You're right. And probably, I'm just guessing that right now, during the time that we live in, that this is the smallest #2 or second print runs we'll ever get.
Yep.
Oh, Devil Tree has a second printing.
It does.
There's a lot of second prints this week. Love it. I'm really excited to read Relive, though. I have a graphic novel on mine called Electric Century, which I'm hoping like crazy is about Tesla because I'm obsessed.
Now I'm just going to have another song from Bob's Burgers stuck in my head.
Sorry. I'm sure you guys already said it, but trigger warning, there's a new Red Room.
Literally, you could say that either way. Trigger warning, there's a new Red Room, or there's a new Red Room, trigger warning.
That's right. It's going to be a good release week. I hope that the books arrive on the same day together, because that has not been true recently.
Here's hoping.
It's all right. Whatever happens, we'll be able to figure it out. We've been doing this for so long now. It's just kind of normal.
Right.
And now our customers believe us. They don't think that we're going to be like, we forgot to order something. They're like, yeah, everyone's saying the same thing in the city. So
It's true. Anything else for the good of the order?
no, just go support your local comic book store. Let's go and tell them how good they're doing.
Just want to remind Kyle that a week after DMZ comes out, because we know you're going to watch it on the very first day, Bridgerton season 2 comes out.
I applaud you for saying it without stuttering this week. I'm so proud of the name of last week's episode, by the way.
It was
Like-
perfect.
Right. It really was.
What was it? A Bridgerton Too Far? Was
A
that
bridge too far.
Bridgerton, yeah, a Bridgerton too far.
Yeah. It made my heart happy. So
I just want to know if they're going to start the show with anybody knowing who Lady Bridgerton is other than us.
wait, it's not a show about a bridge?
No.
Oh, you have to watch it to find out.
Yes, you do.
And
I'm
you
now
also-
no longer interested. I was more interested when this was a show like, Mechanical Masters or something.
see, you're assuming it's only one bridge.
It's not the bridges of Madison County. I've already fallen for that joke. All right. Then if there's nothing else for the good of the order, thank you for watching Nerd News Now, part of the Kingdom of Geekdom on Woodlands Online, sponsored by The Adventure Begins Comics and Games and Space Cadets Collection. Check out other shows on Woodlands Online, like Weekly Fallout Sports Talk, The Adventure Begins Show, 4 Reels, The Best You, Between the Trees Business Talk, and much more. You can watch all of these on Woodlands Online and on our partner station, KVQT HD21, over the air on your TV. All of these shows and more on Roku right now. Just search and add Woodlands Online TV to your streaming lineup. Now you can listen to the podcast versions of these shows on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Amazon. So, for Brainy and Miss Jen, I've been Kyle. This has been Nerd News Now. Musenskvrl.
Who said school?